Welcome to Goddess Behavior, a podcast where ancient myths meets modern main character energy.
We're your hosts, Steph and Laura.
No textbooks, just great stories, hot takes, and some unhinged ancient audacity.
So pour a drink, fix your crown, and step into your mythic era. This is Goddess Behavior.
You would think by now we could figure it out.
I paused for no reason.
So we're staying on the high seas.
Yeah, the water is vast.
Yeah, it is.
So we have a lot of places to go.
Yeah, we do.
And this one's fun. We're talking about pirates.
Yes.
Myth, mutiny, and monsters on the sea.
Yeah,
In
there's
the sea.
In the sea.
In the sea.
Yeah,
obviously.
No, there's
The pirates are monsters. It's
the creatures that are the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think when
Debatable.
Yeah, when we start, like you said, setting off on an adventure, it's hard not to think of pirates when you think of the ocean. So it was the logical place to go next.
And they're the people that are often seen dealing with our
sea monsters and
sea creatures.
and
yes,
mermaids.
if you will,
and
our
all those-
mermaids and sirens. And so they were sort of a back piece to that story.
Yeah.
So we figured, let's tell their story.
Let's bring them to the foreground.
Yeah.
So history remembers them as criminals. Folklore remembers them as legends. Somewhere between the courtroom and the campfire, pirates stopped being people and became mythology. Blackbeard became a monster, and Bonny became a rebel. Davy Jones ruled an underwater underworld. Ghost ships haunted the horizon. Treasure became a quest, and the ocean itself became a place where history and legends were impossible to separate.
So how did some of history's most notorious outlaws become some of our most enduring myths? And why are we still telling pirate stories hundreds of years later? And what do they reveal about our fascination with freedom, rebellion, and life beyond the edge of the map?
Mm-hmm. Today on Goddess Behavior, we're setting sail into the mythology of pirates and why the black flag still captures our imagination. Yeah, I think there is so much about them that is so intriguing that it's hard not to come back around to them, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're everywhere,
Mhm.
too. I mean, we live in Florida, so
Yeah,
we
it's
actually have
really
a whole thing.
Everywhere. Literally, St. Augustine is pirates, it feels like.
Yeah. Well, and Tampa has a whole
Oh.
pirate festival.
And they're literally the Buccaneers.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these pirate things are sort of, I guess, I'm going to say eulogized in that
Oh,
way,
yeah.
right? Where
Mhm.
we celebrate them. Either way, it's a fun topic that people are interested in, I think.
Yeah.
And one that people still, like we were saying, they celebrate them.
Yeah. And they come up again like through generations too. It's not like they don't get forgotten with history.
No.
And there's, for being a group of people that are not 100% myth and not 100% folklore and they're like legends,
yeah.
it becomes they become even more interesting because they don't fit into a box.
They really don't. And I don't think they ever did.
And I think that's
the fun part.
The point.
That's pirate behavior.
Yes, yes, exactly. So why did pirates become legends?
When we picture a pirate, most of us imagine the same things. A black flag with a skull and crossbones, a wooden leg, a parrot on the shoulder, buried treasure, and a captain shouting orders from the deck. But almost none of that comes from a single real pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's a collection of stories layered together over centuries until history became legend.
Mm.
What's so funny to me, I can't picture pirate without thinking of, again, I have two little boys.
Yeah.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Oh, sure.
From Disney.
Yeah.
The little kid show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where the three little kids are kid pirates.
Yeah.
But instead of being like, quote, like naughty.
Yeah.
They're like helpful pirates.
Oh, yes. I've seen that. I have seen that now that you say that.
So it's just funny.
It is funny.
It's something that it's crazy to me that it lives on even in a little kid show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where you might not expect to see a pirate.
No, true. Because you would think not a good influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Disney did that.
Yeah. They figured out
were
a way. If anyone was going to do it.
People like pirates.
Yeah.
We're going to put them in a kid show.
Yeah, we kind of made pirates one way with Peter Pan, and we might have to backtrack a little.
Yeah.
With the kids in particular.
Yeah.
Because we did like Pirates of the Caribbean, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But with the kids, it's like, that's the only other pirate thing that I can think
so.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. For children?
Yeah.
I mean, but yet there are pirate ship playgrounds. There are pirate ship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's a sense
this
of adventure
pirate
and
ship.
imagination. And
Yeah.
I think that's why. So the golden age and how history becomes legend. Quick context.
So the history of pirates and any information we truly have on them,
Mhm.
it's one of those where historians are like, is this reliable?
Right.
And other people are like, no, these stories are cool. We're going to keep
We're
telling
just going to
them.
keep it. Yeah.
But just so everyone knows here, the primary source that we have for pirates is a general history of the pirates from 1724. Obviously, they were sailing a lot before then, too.
Yeah, this is probably somewhere in the middle of the heyday of pirates.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when they were utilized in different ways, right? So it was written under a pseudonym of a so-called pirate, so Captain Charles Johnson, and it is the single text that is responsible for the pirate legends that we have now, like sort of past someone's imagination or just like this lore. It was written and documented in this way in this book.
Okay.
And you can kind of think of it as like the Iliad of piracy.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Historians question its accuracy.
Yeah.
But it exists in the same way that the Iliad does.
Yeah.
And that is to tell these stories in a way that can live on,
Right.
It's written down.
So for people who don't know what the Iliad is.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
So Homer's Iliad.
Yeah.
I say this as literally the Odyssey is already out.
I think it's coming out. I don't think it's out yet.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time you hear this episode, it will be out.
But basically, it's your source for primitive Greek mythology information.
Yeah. So it's basically what we base everything else we know off of it.
Yeah. It's essentially the history text.
Right.
For
so
Greek
when
mythology.
she says the Iliad of piracy, that's what she means, is that it's the primary source.
Yeah. It's as close as we're ever going to get to a legitimate primary source for piracy.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yes.
But pirates
it seems like you wouldn't have that.
Pirates were not slowing down to document their conquests or voyages or ventures, right? The most you really would get is a journal from a passenger or markings on maps or
and like I was saying,
first-hand accounts.
Right. They kind of fall into this in-between category of mythology and folklore. They're not quite either. Like we have this mythology written down to go off of, but we also have a lot of stories that people, or accounts of people telling about these pirates. So it's not a wholly one or the other. And it's kind of what's fun about them is that they have this imagination to them also.
Yeah. Which leads to them being fun stories.
Yeah, yeah. Because it might not all be 100% correct, and that's what's fun about them.
But it's fun, yeah. And so another thing, in addition to this, right, is that the golden age of piracy is between 1650 and 1730.
Okay.
So the book is written on the later end of this spectrum, but within it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
So that's okay. And pirates were basically everywhere.
Yeah.
But a lot in the Caribbean, as we know from maybe other movies, the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean, because they were after those merchant ships.
Yes.
And the back and forth that were happening so much during that period of building empires and colonizing.
And just exploration. I think, you think of like the Silk Road, but this is kind of like on the ocean. So we're having a different...
So those merchant ships would fall under prey to pirates a lot.
Yeah.
And we know that Queen Elizabeth I hired these pirates, hired maybe one specific pirate, a decent amount to work for the crown. Yeah. And it can't be documented in that way exactly, but it happened.
Yeah.
Where she couldn't use the Royal Navy the way that she wanted to, and so she employed pirates.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, that's where the idea behind pirates is also interesting because they don't really fall into a good or bad category necessarily.
I put them with like a
mercenary.
Yeah, let's go like Mandalorian. Like, so for Star Wars people, pirates are like Mando.
Yeah.
Where he lives in like a gray area. Helpful to some, hurtful to others.
It depends on
It
your
just
who
depends.
you are in that
Yeah.
situation.
Um,
Yeah, or like I said, like
like
a
a mercenary. Yeah, that's such a
somebody,
good way to put
yeah,
that. Yeah.
hired to do
For
a job,
hire.
not
Mhm.
necessarily, or the Witcher, or
Yeah.
he's essentially a mercenary. So,
Right. And
uh,
morally right or wrong,
yeah, it
they
just
are
depends on
hired
how
for a
you look at
job.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah.
And to them, gold is gold. So they'll
Yes.
take anyone's gold.
Yes.
So if you'll pay them, they'll do it.
Yep.
So for some, piracy obviously was a way to survive. They could make money, and good money,
Yeah.
honestly. And
Yeah.
for others, it offered something maybe that they found more tempting, which was freedom.
Mhm.
Freedom from the rigid hierarchies of naval and merchant life.
Mhm.
So if you loved being out at sea,
Yeah.
couldn't quite cut it in the
Yeah, well, or you were
in the
like
Navy.
a rule breaker, or you didn't like to
You
follow
didn't like the
people's
uniform. You didn't, whatever it was,
Yes.
right? Is it still allowed you to use those skills?
Yeah.
Um,
Or
for
if you're if you're
different
a
cause.
merchant too, like you have control over your own business. You're not having
True.
to work for a bigger merchant and have to work your way up to become that bigger merchant. Like you
Yeah.
kind of skip over that. It's like it's entrepreneurship.
Sure. But it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Most people
you're gonna
wouldn't get that
struggle for a
opportunity.
little bit.
Yeah.
But the riches are there.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
put in the work.
You're going to suffer, but you're going to be
You're gonna
happy about it. But here's where things get interesting. Unlike kings, queens, and military leaders, pirates didn't spend much time preserving their own history, and they weren't commissioning portraits, writing memoirs, or building monuments. Many of them died young, and others disappeared under assumed names or were executed before they could tell their own stories.
Yeah.
So who told them instead? Sailors swapped tales in ports after long voyages. Newspapers sensationalized pirate attacks because fear sold papers even then. Even then.
Yeah.
Tavern keepers entertained customers with stories of cursed treasure and terrifying captains. I could totally see that, like people like at a pub, like talking about things,
gosh,
right?
Yeah.
Governments exaggerated pirate cruelty to discourage others from joining them. That sounds like capitalism to me.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
don't want to share the wealth.
No, exactly.
Can't say you blame them.
No,
but,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, but in a
different lens.
In a different way. Yeah.
Sure.
And authors eventually blended fact with fiction until it became almost impossible to separate one from the other.
Yeah.
So again, this like blend of myth and folklore to become legend.
Yeah.
Which is
It's so fun.
It's different for us. No, we haven't quite gone there before. The sea itself helped fuel these legends. An isolated ship on the horizon could become anything in the imagination: a pirate vessel, a ghost ship, or a monster rising from the waves. Months spent at sea gave rumors plenty of time to grow. And every retelling added another dramatic detail. In many ways, pirates became folklore almost in real time. And that's why pirates we know today aren't just historical figures, they're mythical archetypes. The real people are still there, but they've been transformed by centuries of storytelling.
And maybe that's the most fascinating part of all. Pirate legends remind us that history isn't only shaped by what happened, it's shaped by the stories people choose to keep telling. That's how outlaws become icons, criminals become folk heroes, and a brief moment in history becomes one of the world's most enduring mythologies. Again, I love this.
Yeah.
I love that this idea gets portrayed in so many different ways.
And it's like, how we talked about how mythology is more for the scholars and how folklore is for the people. It's like a little bit of both. It's
this
so
lives
fun.
in a weird limbo.
Yeah, it really
but
does.
I like it.
Yeah, but it like makes it more established and more like serious in a way, because and believable, even though it isn't it could be totally not true. Like it's interesting.
In the same way that like mermaids could totally not be true, right? Like it's like,
yep.
But there's so many.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. There's just so much there. It's fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
we
more
need,
mysterious.
Like, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah,
like there's so many like sports teams.
Yeah,
there's just so much there.
That's
we
true.
use the image of pirate a lot.
I mean, essentially, Vikings are pirates.
Yeah, I
don't like to think of them that way because I think they're different, but they're kind of pirates.
They are.
Yeah.
They're Norse pirates.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you could say The Romans were pirates too.
Yeah.
Like, I just think if
The
we're going to
Greeks.
apply that logic,
Yeah.
every country had pirates.
Yeah, at some point.
These pirates were just a little more niche.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of these pirates, who should
Yeah,
we
let's
talk
do
about
it.
first? So, Blackbeard, I think, is kind of probably one of the more well-known names.
Even if you've just seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah, true. Which I think most people have seen those.
Yeah, I think most people our age have seen those movies.
Yeah, maybe we're dating ourselves.
Well, how does anyone beat Jack Sparrow?
Oh, iconic.
I don't know how one does that. It's like trying to beat Harry Potter. There's never you can't replace Harry.
Where's all the rum gone? Love him.
I love a pirate.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think Blackbeard is honestly an icon.
So Blackbeard's real name was likely, again, it's all
we have to
hearsay,
say that
right?
because of the source.
Yes.
This is
So his real name was likely Edward Teach, although you'll see it spelled Thatch, so it's sometimes Edward Thatch.
again British.
Yes. In historical records.
Yep.
So he sailed during the early 1700s and commanded the infamous ship Queen Anne's Revenge. While he certainly captured ships and terrified merchants, what made him so legendary wasn't simply what he did. It was how he made people believe that he was more than a human.
Yeah. And according to eyewitness accounts, Blackbeard would weave slow-burning fuses into his long black beard before battle. As the fuses smoldered, they surrounded his face with thick clouds of smoke. Imagine seeing that through cannon fire and sea fog.
Yeah, it must be
a towering
crazy.
man dressed in dark clothing, pistols strapped around his chest, emerging from the smoke like something probably out of a nightmare.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah.
And whether every detail is true of this or not, it really doesn't matter.
No.
The image that creates is crazy.
Yeah.
And the effect it has seems to be very real.
Yeah.
People were very afraid of him.
Yeah. So Blackbeard understood something that the marketers, politicians, celebrities, and even mythological heroes still understand today. People are often more afraid of a reputation than a reality.
His reputation precedes him.
Yes. He cultivated an image that made enemies surrender before the fight even began. If a merchant captain believed Blackbeard was a bloodthirsty monster, they were far more likely to hand over their cargo without risking the battle.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
It's not worth giving what he wants. It's
Crazy. He's crazy. Fear became one of his most effective weapons and cost him almost nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do anything.
Brilliant
marketing schemes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's fascinating is that historians believe Blackbeard may not have been as indiscriminately violent as his reputation suggests. In many cases, pirates preferred surrender to combat because fighting damaged ships, killed valuable crew members, and endangered the treasure that they were hoping to steal. A terrifying reputation was simply good business. This is where Blackbeard starts to resemble a mythological figure more than a historical person.
First of all, again, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, that's so smart.
Because he's saving people, he's saving his ship, he's saving the cargo. He doesn't have to worry about any of that. He's working around that.
And that means his ship can keep sailing.
Yeah, it keeps
when
going.
When you have to fix a ship, it often has to leave the water. It's a whole big ordeal.
Listen, Brad would know.
I'm just saying, truly. I'm just saying that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And for a pirate that we want to say pirates are not, I mean, society has this idea about pirates being drunks and
not that smart, really, like
and
kind
outcasts
of at edge of society kind of people. They can't be all that. Yeah.
This is really smart.
Yeah, true. So many cultures tell stories about dragons, not because dragons existed, but because they embodied some overwhelming power. They guarded treasure, inspired terror, and forced heroes to confront their fears. Blackbeard filled a similar role on the Atlantic. Sailors didn't fear the man, they feared the legend that surrounded him. He became a monster whose name alone could change the decisions of everyone who heard it. So that becomes his nickname. So beyond just Blackbeard, right?
Yeah.
He becomes known as the Dragon of the Atlantic. So he definitely has this presence in the region that precedes him no matter who is in his wake. So I'm sure if you saw his ship approaching, it would be Oh, what do we do now?
When a ship is approaching and they immediately look at the flags being flown on the ship to see
Yeah.
who it is, who's on it. I can picture the fear, right, of
Yeah.
like having Blackbeard's ship approach you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, enough to be like, I'm going to go a different way.
Yeah.
I'm going to start
Yep.
going this way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to mess with that guy.
No, for sure.
That's why Blackbeard remains the pirate everyone knows centuries later. Plenty of pirates stole more wealth. Some sailed longer careers. Others commanded larger fleets. But Blackbeard understood that stories outlive victories. He wasn't remembered because he was the greatest pirate.
Mhm.
He was remembered because he became unforgettable.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson mythology teaches again and again. Power isn't just about what you do. It's about the story people tell when you're gone.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like pirates have a thing with the legacy.
Yeah, I think it's like, to be honest, it gives Greek, it gives
Yeah.
Norse, it gives Roman,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Welsh,
Yeah.
Celtic. We see this a lot. Is that early they really, really valued their culture,
Yeah.
and
That
that's
being
what
represented
these
to
pirates are doing.
Yeah,
that
they have
in a
their
very
own pirate
similar
culture.
way, where they're like they want it to be remembered
Yeah.
in that way, in
Yeah.
the way that they were. They
Yeah.
survived.
They have
Yeah.
their special elf culture. No, yeah, they have their own society, and this is
And structure for
Yeah.
like how things operated on board.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
I
not?
think-
Why not have somebody stand out from the rest? You know.
yeah,
It's so, speaking of standing out from the rest,
Ah.
Anne Bonny and pirate women. So they weren't just men.
oddly enough.
Yeah,
It's
which
a
makes
job
sense.
I wouldn't want. But
No,
I
thank you.
I say that to Brad all the time.
Yep.
I was like, couldn't be me.
Nope, I don't like it. To get seasick.
Yeah, for
That-
so many reasons.
That alone would put me out of the count, to be honest with you.
Cool.
Wow. So when people think of pirates, they often picture rugged men with swords, pistols, and weathered faces. I think leather faces, but yes, like
literally.
leathered from the sun.
Yeah, lots of sun.
But some of the most enduring legends from the golden age of piracy belonged to women.
Most famous is Anne Bonny. Born in Ireland in the late 1600s, Anne eventually found her way to the Caribbean, where she left behind the legacy society expected of her and joined the crew of the pirate Calico Jack. Alongside them sailed another remarkable woman, Mary Read, who spent much of her life disguising herself as a man in order to serve as a soldier and sailor before becoming a pirate.
Sure. So one of the most famous stories is that Mary had disguised herself as a man when she first joined the crew. And according to A General History of Pirates, Anne believed that Mary was a man and revealed her own identity to her. So like she told Anne that she was a woman.
In disguise. Yeah.
Whether every story about Anne is completely accurate is difficult to know. Like much of pirate history, her life has been filtered through sensationalized books, newspaper accounts, and centuries of retelling. But the fact that we still tell her story says something about what she came to represent. Anne Bonny survives in cultural memory because she shattered expectations.
In so many myths and folk tales, women are expected to wait. They wait for a husband to return from war, for a prince to rescue them, for a prophecy to unfold, or for someone else to determine their fate. Even when women are incredibly powerful in mythology, that power is often expressed through patience, endurance, wisdom, sacrifice. Anne Bonny refuses that role entirely.
Yeah.
She doesn't ask permission. She doesn't stay home, and she doesn't wait.
Yeah.
She climbs aboard the ship, takes up weapons, and chooses a life that almost no woman of her time was allowed to even imagine, let alone live.
I mean, I feel like in a lot of ways it'd be dangerous to do that if you
Yeah.
weren't like trained properly, like to defend yourself alone.
Don't want to be on a modern ship.
Yeah.
I want to be on a giant wooden ship, I can tell you that.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The heat and the food and the men alone.
The
Gross.
men.
I'm out. That's too many men in one
Yeah.
sweaty, confined place.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
I mean, again, rumor has it.
Hmm.
She had a whole thing with Calico Jack.
Oh, sure.
So I feel like she probably got a little bit better treatment, but
Yeah.
I like to think that.
Maybe
I
she
don't
got the captain's quarters.
know. Probably. And also, very smart of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Do what you got.
according to several accounts, she fought alongside the men during battles. In one of her most famous stories, claimed that when Calico Jack's crew surrendered to pirate hunters, Anne Bonny was among the few who continued fighting while many of the men hid below deck. Whether or not every detail is true, the story reveals what people wanted Anne Bonny to symbolize: courage without compromise.
And honestly, the whole thing says how courageous she is.
Yeah.
First of all, for her to even
Just
be there.
do it in general.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And second of all, to endure all of that and still be willing to stand there and fight.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Brave.
Couldn't be me.
Mhm.
Yeah, brave.
Yeah.
That's why she became more than a historical figure. She became a folk heroine.
Mhm.
Not because piracy was noble per se, because it wasn't,
Yeah.
right? Pirates robbed, kidnapped, and sometimes killed innocent people. Anne Bonny wasn't celebrated because she was morally perfect.
Mm.
She's remembered because she challenged the boundaries of who was allowed to seek adventure, take risks, and honestly just take control of their own life.
Yeah, that's the bravest thing she did, was choose what she wanted to do with her life instead
outside of all of society's
Totally.
norms and standards.
Yeah, especially at that time.
Yeah. In
Mhm.
England?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, yeah. In many ways, pirate ships became one of history's most unusual stages. They existed outside the norms of regular society. On land, laws, class systems, and gender expectations shaped almost everything to do with life. At sea, those structures became less rigid. Survival mattered more than social convention. I could see that because,
Yeah.
you think like Bridgerton, where everything is about how things are supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And this is like the complete opposite of that.
I mean, but it has to be like that because when your survival is depending on the people around you,
Yeah, you have no choice.
you
can't
don't get to
be,
care about those little
You don't get
semantics.
prejudice in there.
You're
Yeah.
worried about surviving.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no room for any of that other stuff.
No, true. There's no denying
Mhm.
that she became one of the most unforgettable women to ever sail beneath the pirate flag.
So cool.
Okay, Davy Jones and the Sailor's Underworld.
If Blackbeard represents the pirate as legend, then Davy Jones represents the sea itself as myth.
Long before Pirates of the Caribbean gave him a squid-like face and a haunted ship, Davy Jones already existed in sailors' folklore as a mysterious figure connected to death at sea. No one was entirely sure where the name came from. Some historians believed it may have referred to an infamous sailor or tavern owner. Others think it evolved from older maritime superstitions. Whatever his origin, by the 18th century, sailors across the English-speaking world knew exactly what it meant when you were sent to Davy Jones Locker. It meant you weren't coming home.
Yeah, that was it. That's death sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're swimming with the fishes.
Yep. You're out. Davy Jones's locker wasn't a chest full of treasure. It was the bottom of the ocean. The place where drowned sailors, wrecked ships, and everything swallowed by the sea went to rest. And unlike a cemetery on land, there were no headstones, no funerals, and often no body to recover. The ocean simply kept what it claimed. That made the death at sea uniquely terrifying.
Yeah.
Like there's no...
Well, the ocean is unforgivable, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Or unforgiving, I should say.
Yeah, totally.
It just does what it wants.
I think it was also believed that like your soul doesn't go anywhere else from that, right?
Oh, sure. Makes
that
sense.
ending is a permanent ending.
Yeah. For most of human history, a proper burial wasn't just about honoring the dead. It was believed that it helped the soul complete its journey. Across cultures, funeral rituals gave families a place to grieve and communities a way to remember. But the sea often denied people that closure. A sailor could disappear beneath the waves and never be seen again, leaving loved ones with no grave to visit and certainly wouldn't know what had happened to them.
Yeah. In a time that there was already so much uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like your loved one could...
That's why they're clinging to that idea. I could see it.
Yeah. It makes I don't know. It's depressing,
It's
but it
sad,
makes
but it's
sense.
true.
Yeah.
So sailors did what humans have always done when faced with the unknown. They built a mythology around it. Instead of imagining the dead simply vanishing, they imagined another realm beneath the waves. Davy Jones became its keeper, and his locker became a kind of underwater underworld, a place where lost sailors remained when the sea refused to return
Like,
them.
like even their souls were
Yeah.
trapped down there
Yeah.
in Davy Jones' locker,
Yeah.
right?
It's so funny because when I hear locker, I know they mean like a treasure chest, but it sounds
Yeah.
like a school locker to me. So I'm thinking like all the souls trapped in like a combination lock.
I literally picture like the shark cage, like that you
Oh,
go down
yeah.
in the water
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then it's
yeah.
like a
The
cage
dive
underwater.
cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dive cage. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Death cage. Sure. Same thing.
Uh, to me, it's the
It's
same
the
thing.
same.
It's striking how many cultures create an afterlife that reflects the landscape they know best.
Hmm.
The ancient Greeks imagined Hades beneath the earth. The Norse envisioned Valhalla and hell. Ancient Egyptians prepared for a journey through the Duat. Sailors whose lives were shaped by the ocean imagined an afterlife beneath the waves. That tells us something profound about mythology. We don't just create stories to explain life, we create stories to make peace with death too.
Yeah,
Both
it's about
sides.
this whole
Yeah.
cycle of it, both
Mhm.
sides of the coin. Davy Jones Locker transformed one of humanity's oldest fears, the fear of disappearing without a trace, into something people could picture, name, and talk about. Giving the abyss a name didn't make it less dangerous, but it made it less unknowable. And that's why Davy Jones has endured for centuries, not because he was a real pirate villain, but he was the personification of the ocean's oldest promise. Everything that enters the sea,
Yeah.
may never come back. Spooky.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a real reality,
Yeah.
whether you are a pirate or a Navy sailor or someone
Out.
hoping to venture out to a
Yeah.
new world. I
Yeah.
think that was such a reality. And we lost so many
Yeah,
people that way. So,
definitely. Yeah, and I think with the mysteries of the ocean, it becomes a lot of stories that will pop up that explain these unknown
yeah.
things.
And it's not pleasant, but if it helped them wrap their head
Yeah.
around that situation, then it's like, okay.
Yeah, makes
well,
sense. Yeah.
mhm.
It's an interesting way to think about
There's
it.
souls in Davy Jones' locker.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah, so for most of human history, the ocean was the largest unexplored place, as we've talked about before. People could map out coastlines and chart stars, but once they sailed far enough from the land, they entered a world that was almost entirely unknown. The sea could be calm at one moment and violent the next. It hid storms beneath clear skies, currents beneath still water, and creatures no one has ever seen before. When humans don't know what's out there, they imagine something else. And that's how sea monsters were born.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We've seen this in other episodes and
Yeah.
different landscapes even this is how our creatures come
Yes.
to be.
That's when the most fun happens. When
Yeah.
this is where the magic happens.
Our version.
Our
of
version
magic.
of the magic. Yeah. No, it's funny how the most outrageous stories as far as like these monsters
Yeah.
come from truly nothing. Like
They're really just trying to put a story to a situation
something
that
they can't explain.
even
Yeah.
if it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
it helps them
Yeah.
helps them comprehend it and move on.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Nearly every maritime culture has stories about enormous sea creatures lurking beneath the waves. Some were serpents long enough to wrap around ships. Others are dragons that guard islands or treasure. In the Bible, there's Leviathan, a large sea creature so powerful that only God can defeat it. In Norse mythology, there's Jormungandr, the world serpent, so immense that it circles the entire earth beneath the ocean. Across Asia, Europe, and the Pacific, sailors told stories of giant fish, sea dragons, and monsters waiting just beneath the sea. And perhaps no sea monster captures the imagination quite like the Kraken.
The Kraken comes from Norwegian folklore, where it was described as a colossal creature living off the coast of Norway and Greenland.
Sure,
I believe it's still there.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we believe anything in the ocean could be real at this point. I'm not convinced.
Show me.
Yeah.
Anyway. Early accounts describe it as so enormous that sailors sometimes mistook its back for a small island. When it surfaced, its massive body displaced the water around it, creating dangerous whirlpools capable of pulling entire ships beneath the sea. Later, storytellers imagined the Kraken as a giant octopus or squid with enormous tentacles wrapping around ships before dragging them into the depths. And here's the fascinating part. The legend may have a kernel of truth.
Yeah. I mean, today we know there are giant squid, which is horrifying. I don't like it. And colossal squid.
Yes.
So not just giant squid, but colossal.
Like
squid.
so big, we couldn't just say giant.
Nope. I hate it.
Comparing it to the Colosseum. Colossal.
Yes, I hate it. It's gross.
Yeah.
And squishy.
And too smart for its own good. Like, seriously, guys, these creatures are highly intelligent, and I hate that.
No.
That's freaky.
They can grow to astonishing sizes and spend their lives in the deep ocean, a place humans have explored very minimally. For centuries, sailors occasionally found enormous tentacles or strange carcasses washed up ashore with no explanation. Without modern marine biology, it wasn't difficult to imagine that somewhere below the surface lived a monster large enough to swallow a ship. That's one of the reasons the Kraken feels so believable compared to some of these other mythological creatures. It exists in a space where observation meets imagination.
Yeah. And I think the same can be said for, I mean, who's to say other ones aren't down there too?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's how I feel about the Mosasaurus. And I feel like the Mosasaurus is in this same area.
Yeah, sure. The North Sea.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos of the North Sea?
Yes. Terrifying.
I hate it. It's my worst fear. All of it.
Terrifying.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But the Kraken is about much more than a giant squid. Like dragons on land, sea monsters give a face to forces humans can't control. They become symbols for storms that appear without warning. Waves powerful enough to splinter ships, whirlpools that seem to pull vessels into another world, and the terrifying realization that the deeper you go, the less you know.
Yeah, fact. Yeah.
No. Yeah, you know how like every girl in the 90s and 2000s wanted to be a marine biologist?
Here's the thing. It's scary.
Well, yeah, I wanted to be a dolphin trainer. That's why I wanted to do that.
Yeah, like at an aquarium.
At SeaWorld or at Miami Seaquarium with Flipper.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I wanted.
Yes.
I didn't want to do this.
Don't put me on a boat and send me to the North Sea.
No.
I have no interest in that.
No. Yeah, the Kraken doesn't attack because it's evil. It attacks because the ocean just doesn't care.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to my whole thing about you have to respect what you don't know. Respect sometimes means leaving it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, the ocean is indifferent. It's not evil or malicious. Yeah. It's just a tough environment. And if you don't know how to handle it, bad things come your way. It's just kind of...
And I could honestly see like whirlpools.
So scary.
Being absolutely terrifying and then devastating.
Oh, yeah.
To those people.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
If you want to blame it on a Kraken, go right ahead.
Also, how do they... I mean, I guess there were people who survived those, but like, how do you record that? Like, how do people even get back from that? How do we even know they exist?
So, I mean, physics tells you how to get out of that the best that you can, right?
But
in a giant wooden ship, I don't know. I don't know where the wind is probably
crazy
off-putting because of the... I'm trying here. It's terrifying.
I believe you.
So, one of my biggest fears ever, is falling off of a bridge in my car, and the car going underwater, and then I have to escape and save both children. And that's horrible for me. That's my nightmare.
No.
So the thought of going under on a giant wooden vessel, or giant vessel of any kind,
Nope. Yep.
Never catch me on a submarine. Never.
No.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. So the Kraken becomes this embodiment of the sea.
Yep.
Vast, ancient, powerful, and mostly unseen and impossible to conquer. It's perfect parallel to the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why even today, after satellites, submarines, deep sea exploration, the Kraken still captures our imagination. We've mapped the moon more thoroughly than we've mapped the ocean floor.
Isn't that wild? Yeah. It's just hard to wrap your head around.
It is, yeah. And there are still species we've never discovered and ecosystems we've never seen.
Like the anglerfish.
Yes. Anglerfish is the little fish with the light that
Yes,
dangles in
like
front of
in
it
Nemo.
from Nemo.
Also, that's the ladyfish.
Yeah, with the light is the ladyfish because
Yes.
she has to lure her food because
Yeah.
the man is doing.
Oh, the man is attached to her and is very tiny. I saw a whole thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is tiny and basically parasitic. And she just absorbs him, and that's how she makes babies. I'm not joking. It's literally what it is.
Wow, what a crap life, to be honest.
Oh, I mean, again, the ocean floor creeps me out. That's horrifying. And if you know what we're talking about, what they look like, which I will put a picture here,
Yeah.
they're disgusting and horrifying
they're
looking.
gross looking.
They look like monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
The ocean remains one of our last greatest mysteries on Earth, and wherever mystery survives, mythology is never far behind.
Yeah, true.
Trying to explain it.
Yeah. All right. Ghost ships and the Flying Dutchman.
Of all the stories sailors told, fewer is haunting as the legend of the Flying Dutchman. Unlike sea monsters, which attack from below, or pirates who threaten from the horizon, the Flying Dutchman represents something even more unsettling: a ship that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, according to the most famous version of the legend, the Flying Dutchman was a Dutch trading vessel whose captain became so determined to round the Cape of Good Hope during a violent storm that he defied God, nature, and fate itself, depending on who's telling the story.
It's also a very tough place
Oh,
to navigate.
Yeah, so the Cape of Good Hope is around Africa,
Yeah.
the bottom of Africa, so around where South Africa would be.
Very tumultuous.
Very, yeah. It's the same with like around any big continent. It's like very difficult to navigate.
Truly.
So like Australia would be like the Cook's Passage.
Yeah.
Yes, Cook's Passage. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm a geography nerd, so I know.
No,
all
I
these
like
things.
this too.
Yeah.
Not alone.
As punishment, he and his crews were cursed to sail the seas forever, never reaching port and never finding peace. Oh, that's sad. But also, sure.
Yikes. That's, again, another nightmare of mine.
Yeah, just sailing forever.
Don't trap me out there.
For centuries, sailors claimed to have seen the ghostly vessel glowing in the distance. Some believed it appeared as a warning of disaster. Others saw seeing it meant death was near.
I could see that.
Yeah. No matter the version, one thing remained the same. The Flying Dutchman was a ship trapped between worlds, neither fully alive nor truly dead.
So it's easy to dismiss these stories today, but imagine life at sea before modern navigation. You could spend weeks or even months surrounded by nothing but water and sky.
Yeah.
Thick fog could swallow entire ships in minutes. Strange weather could distort the horizon. Light reflecting through layers of warm and cold air could create a phenomenon known as a superior mirage, making distant ships appear to float above the ocean or shimmer like ghosts. Sailors sometimes came across abandoned vessels drifting silently, their crews gone without explanation. Other ships simply disappeared into storms and were never seen again. When your world is full of unexplained disappearances, ghost stories become almost inevitable.
Sure. And the Flying Dutchman wasn't the only one. Nearly every maritime culture has stories of phantom ships. In Celtic folklore, there are vessels crewed by the dead. Scandinavian traditions speak of spectral boats carrying doomed souls. Japanese folklore tells of the ghosts of people who drowned at sea and return to haunt passing ships. Across the world, the details change, but the idea remains the same. The sea remembers who it has claimed. What makes ghost ships so compelling is that they embody a uniquely human fear, not just dying, but never arriving. A ghost ship is a journey without an ending. It never reaches home. It never reaches safely. It just simply wanders forever.
Which is interesting to me because the Norse used to send their honored dead
Into the sea.
into the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which I feel like is a very pirate thing to do.
Oh,
I know we've
yeah.
said that the Norse are very similar
Yeah.
to
Feels
pirates in that
pirates.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like a symbol of respect.
Yeah, I think it's, again, like, I think you can have both, right? So if you're sending the dead to the sea in, like, a manner of respect, it would be the same the other way around. Like, if they died in a tragedy or something like that, they could haunt it too.
Yeah.
Just like a
Totally.
cemetery. Like, there are people who died perfectly,
Yeah.
naturally, and then other people who died tragically. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of the same idea, I guess.
No, I mean, it's just interesting
Yeah.
how for some cultures, the water
It's
is a
liminal.
place of honor like that and
Yeah.
serves as that
Yeah.
liminal transportation,
True.
if you
Yeah.
will,
Yeah. Yeah.
between
Yeah.
life and death.
Yeah.
And then other places, it's
Just
sort of
one or the other.
a
Yeah.
one-way ticket.
Right. Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's a powerful metaphor. Whether it's Odysseus struggling to return to Ithaca, wandering Jew condemned to roam the earth, or the Flying Dutchman circling the oceans. Myths often use endless wandering to represent one of the greatest punishments imaginable. Humans are creatures who long for home, who long for belonging,
Mm.
and for endings to our stories. A voyage that never ends feels profoundly
Yeah.
unnatural, unsettled, sort of
Yeah.
all of the opposite
Yeah,
things
definitely.
that we like.
Yeah. So the sea itself encourages these legends because it creates mysteries faster than humans can solve them. Ships vanish, messages never arrive, storms erase evidence. The horizon hides more than it reveals. So people tell stories, not because they know what happened, but because stories give shape to uncertainty. They transform unanswered questions into something we can picture, remember, or pass on. In that sense, The Flying Dutchman isn't just a ghost story. It's a reminder that wherever humans encounter the unknown, folklore is never far behind. So we can't talk about pirates without talking about treasure.
So I think what I love about Pirates for Kids
Mhm.
is my kids have ridden the Pirates ride,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Like in
Yeah.
Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom. Have the swords and the
Yeah.
outfits and they play pretend pirates, and every pirate story or imaginative scenario for kids ends with a treasure hunt,
Oh,
right?
sure.
And a map, and the
Mhm.
X marks the spot.
Yeah.
And and it's something that for kids is a fun imaginative play world,
Sure.
where for us in treasure mythology,
It's interesting because it's actually one of the least historically accurate parts of
of the
pirates.
pirates.
Yeah. And it's something that's so widely associated with pirates. I think it's also a dream of treasure, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't always mean
The
that.
idea.
Yeah, the idea, the dream of getting the big
Pile of
pot
loot.
of gold. I was gonna say pot of gold, but it's just not. That's a different thing.
No leprechauns
Yeah,
on ships.
that's another episode. Yeah. So in reality, most pirates didn't bury treasure. Piracy was an incredibly dangerous profession with a very short life expectancy. When pirates captured valuables, they usually divided the loot among the crew and spent it almost immediately on food, supplies, gambling, alcohol, new ships, and simply enjoying the fact that they had survived another voyage.
I mean, also, if one of those ships wrecked or something happened to them and things washed ashore, you could see how someone could stumble across the
Oh, yeah.
shipwreck
Mhm.
and find themselves a treasure,
Oh, for sure.
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, gold sitting around in a hole isn't really doing anybody any good, is it?
oh yeah, no, they're spending it.
Um, there are a few historical stories of buried treasure. The most famous, the Scottish pirate Captain William Kidd,
Mhm.
whose hidden cache helped fuel centuries of speculation. But these examples are the exception, not the rule. So why has buried treasure become the pirate myth?
Because the treasure stopped representing money, it became a symbol. Across mythology, hidden treasure almost never functions as simple wealth.
Sure.
It represents something that must be earned through courage, intelligence, perseverance, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
Think about some of the world's greatest myths: the Golden Fleece, the Holy Grail, the Apples of Hesperides, the Nibelung Hoard, and the lost city of El Dorado. These aren't just valuable objects, they're quests.
Mm-hmm.
The treasure is hidden because it's meant to transform the person that's searching for it.
Yeah.
Pirate treasure works the exact same way. The map becomes more like a prophecy, and the island becomes the mythical destination. The traps, storms, rival pirates, and impossible obstacles become the trials and tribulations that every hero must overcome. And in that sense, pirate stories borrow one of mythology's oldest storytelling structures, the hero's quest. And what's fascinating is that the X marks the spot map isn't just directions. It works more like a promise.
Yeah.
A promise that somewhere beyond the horizon, something extraordinary is waiting to be discovered. That idea has never stopped captivating us.
Yeah, it to me it just makes me think of like the idea of like it's about the journey, not the destination.
Totally.
Like
That's what it gives.
The whole experience is the treasure, not just the actual treasure, right?
And I think a pirate would say that.
Yeah, because they like the story of it just as much as they like the actual
like living
gold.
in it too.
Yeah. Today we talk about discovering hidden gems. We go on treasure hunts as children. Video games send us searching for legendary loot. Adventure movies revolve around lost artifacts or forgotten civilizations. Even scientists speak of unburied treasure when they make extraordinary discoveries. We've simply replaced gold coins with a new kind of treasure: knowledge, adventure, purpose, discovery. That's why the treasure itself is never really like the emotional climax of the story. It's the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it is the purpose. Think about Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones, National Treasure, The Goonies, or even Treasure Island. The chest at the end matters far less than everything that happened while trying to find it. Because mythology has always understood something that life eventually teaches us too. The greatest treasure isn't what you find, it's who you become while searching for it.
So why do we keep having pirates return back to us? For a group of people who existed only in a very relatively short period of time in history, pirates have an incredible afterlife in pop culture.
Yeah, it's true. Pirates become whatever each generation needs them to be. I mean, we see them pop up a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes they're a villain. Sometimes they're swashbuckling heroes, right?
And sometimes they're like your drunk best friend.
Like, they're like comedic relief, right? Yeah, and sometimes they're like the revolutionaries, right? It just depends on what that generation is looking for, right?
Yeah.
They became whatever that generation needed them to be. Well, so we can't continue to talk about pirates in pop culture in particular, without talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. If there's one franchise responsible for shaping modern pirate mythology, it's that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't really based on history at all.
Yeah.
But it's built from centuries of this sort of maritime folklore.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because I feel like the story is like a collection of stories in itself. Like, I don't think even like one movie at a time, it doesn't feel like it's all from one thing. Yeah, so think about everything these films have borrowed from. Davy Jones, right? They transform, he becomes Davy Jones.
Yeah, that very terrifying.
Will Turner.
In the movie, Davy Jones is quite terrifying looking. Like, he literally has like that squid head.
Is it? Yeah.
Human body.
Yeah, and then it becomes like about him being cursed by like a love story and duty, and he's tied to this curse. This curse,
that he can't escape, and he wants his son to help him
get out of it. Yeah. And the Kraken comes up, but it's like reimagined as his weapon, Davy Jones. Like, he wields it. Cursed treasure, See, this is probably. Oh yeah, I
So
forgot about
this,
this. Yeah, the cursed
so the
treasure.
cursed treasure one is
Yeah.
like
Ooh,
that's
which
South
we could
American
definitely get
lore,
into.
which
Yeah,
is also another lore I would
yeah. We haven't quite got there
get
yet.
over
Yeah.
there to do. But it's literally like Aztec gold
Yeah.
that they're chasing after, which
Which, like we said, has a whole separate lore tied to it, but it transforms these pirates into skeletons in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Like spooky.
Yeah.
But cool. I like it. Flying Dutchman. It's not a ghost ship, but a vessel that condemns, like, it's like ferrying souls. So a little bit like
transitioning those souls.
it
It's
still works as this
a
liminal
vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has,
You see ships with ghost crews.
yeah. Yeah, sea curses.
Yeah.
Like Calypso. Like I just think of
Oh,
her. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Mythological maps, enchanted compasses. Oh, sea goddesses. And impossible voyages.
And I mean, we see them face a lot of the sea dangers, a lot that we've already talked about,
Yeah.
right? Like sirens, and
Mhm.
we see mermaids
Yeah.
be what historically mermaids were
Yeah.
used at.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is scary.
Yes, scary. Not pretty and
and
no.
luring.
No.
But would literally eat you.
Yes.
Kind of
Mhm.
mermaids. There are a lot of our sea creatures that
Yeah.
we see pop up in pirates,
Yeah.
and it's cool.
Yeah.
They pretty much used all of them.
They really have. I mean, so like we were saying at the beginning, like none of these stories like all belong together, but the films weave them into this like universe essentially.
Yeah, which is
Create
honestly really cool.
Yeah, and it creates what essentially is the greatest hits of like the maritime mythology. Like it hits everything or most things.
Yeah, I think
Um
so.
and that's probably why they resonate so deeply. They don't just tell a pirate story, but they trap all of these hundreds of years of legend into something that waits beyond the horizon. Like it just encompasses everything that is pirate.
Yeah,
Another famous pop culture pirate,
that we can't do this episode without
no,
talking about.
is Captain Hook.
From Peter Pan.
Yes, Peter Pan. So, Captain Hook transforms the pirate into a storybook villain, right? So this is kind of
He's the antithesis of Peter Pan,
right.
who is set to be young forever.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Hook is set to be like a grown-up forever, like old
Right.
forever.
Right.
Yeah.
He has all the
Bummer.
classic pirate imagery. He has a hook for a hand, a pirate ship, a loyal crew, but he's less interested in treasure than he is about revenge and this fear of getting old.
Yeah.
Chased by a crocodile that swallowed his hand and an alarm clock, Hook is constantly reminded that time is catching up with him. Oh my God, I never thought of it.
TikTok
Wow.
croc. Mhm.
Makes sense. In many ways, he's the fairy tale version of pirate mythology. Theatrical, larger than life, and forever caught between adventure and inevitable doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the kid one, he's just like always after Peter.
Yeah.
And trying to not like bust Peter in his antics, but like
Yeah.
kind of be like, hey, stop.
Yeah,
Grow up now.
exactly.
Like
yeah, kind of like the adult in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he shows how pirates evolve from historical to mythological.
Yeah.
He's not based off the idea of like one real pirate, but the idea of a pirate charismatic, dangerous, morally gray, and living outside of the rules of ordinary society.
Villainizing a child is something, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Hook is remembered as much for his persona as his actions, just like Blackbeard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's the villain that most children are picturing
Yeah.
when they're fighting
Yeah.
as a pirate. Is it's sort of the classic Peter versus
Yeah.
Hook
Yeah.
battle.
And then you have like, again, we talked about Once Upon a Time a couple episodes ago, and he really becomes this morally gray character where you're like, he goes back and forth constantly. You don't know
Yep.
whose side he's on, and that's kind of the fun of it. Yeah.
And I think that's why these pirates have survived in our imagination for centuries. It's because they represent a fantasy almost everyone has at some point in their lives. What if you could just leave?
Mm-hmm.
Leave the job, leave the expectations, leave the identity everyone has assigned to you, and leave that life that maybe no longer fits.
Mhm.
Sail towards a horizon where no one knows your past, and you get to decide who you become next. That's the fantasy pirates embody.
Yeah. Historically, pirates were criminals. They robbed ships, stole cargo, and often committed acts of violence against innocent people. This isn't a story about pretending otherwise, but mythology has never been interested in perfect people. Instead, it asks why certain people become legends. Pirates rejected kings, governments, rigid class systems, and the brutal conditions that defined life for many sailors. They chose freedom over certainty, even if that freedom came at a tremendous cost to themselves and often to others. They weren't heroes, and they weren't simply villains either. They were morally gray people living in a morally gray world.
Yeah. And that's why pirate mythology has always been honest about the price of freedom.
Mhm.
The ocean gives you independence, it also takes away certainty. Once you leave the shore, there are no guarantees, no safety net, no predictable future. Every sunrise could bring fortune or famine. Every storm could be your last, and every decision carries consequences you can't control. Hate that.
Yep.
Um, and every pirate story exists somewhere between liberation and disaster.
Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, the same ocean that promises adventure can swallow you whole. The same treasure that promises wealth can be cursed. The same ship that gives you freedom can become your prison. Even the greatest pirate legends end with a reminder that no one truly outruns consequence. Blackbeard dies in battle, and Bonny disappears into history. Davy Jones becomes trapped beneath the sea. The Flying Dutchman is condemned to sail forever.
Mm.
Again and again, these stories remind us that absolute freedom and absolute security rarely exist together.
Yeah, true. And maybe that's why they continue to resonate. Most of us aren't dreaming about becoming pirates, necessarily.
Eh,
We're dreaming about having the courage to choose our own lives. Pirates magnify that desire into mythology. They become symbols of reinvention, rebellion, and self determination, but also warnings about what can happen when freedom exists without accountability. Like so many mythological figures, they occupy a space between hero and villain, forcing us to wrestle with uncomfortable questions instead of offering easy answers. Maybe pirate stories were never really about the sea. Maybe they are always about the moment that every person eventually faces. Do I stay somewhere safe, or do I risk everything to become someone new?
It's a big question.
Yeah. It just feels like the girl moving to the big city,
It does. That's the same
yeah,
energy it gives.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
going
leaving her past
outside
behind.
yeah,
And
going outside of your bubble that you know to like
yeah.
grander things. Yeah.
If pirate stories had only been about stealing ships, they would have disappeared a long time ago. Instead, they keep coming back. Every generation finds a new way to tell pirate stories because every generation still wrestles with the same questions about freedom, authority, and who gets to write history. We still dream about adventure, about escape, about leaving behind lives that no longer fit, and finding people who choose us instead of people we happen to be born among.
That's why pirates continue to appear everywhere, from blockbuster films and television to novels, video games, and children's stories. They become more than historical figures, they become an archetype. But what makes them endure isn't that we see them as heroes, it's that they're complicated. In many ways, the pirates are the morally gray version of the hero's journey. They leave the ordinary world, cross into the unknown, face monsters, find allies, seek fortune, and are forever changed by what they discover. But unlike traditional heroes, they don't always return with wisdom and redemption. Sometimes they return with regret, sometimes they don't return at all. And that's what makes pirate mythology feel so timeless. It doesn't offer simple heroes and villains, it offers complicated people making impossible choices in an unpredictable world. Because sometimes the edge of the map isn't where the story ends, it's where the questions begin. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
they remind us of us. They're not
Yeah.
trying to be perfect, and I think that's why people like them.
Has to be.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I keep seeing those reels of like, oh, in a past life, I must have been a pirate
Yeah.
because how else do you explain my love of the water,
Yeah.
spending money, and
I love
alcohol.
it. Sure, yeah.
And you're like,
correct. Yeah, fair. Yeah.
and it just, I picture like my husband driving our boat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he probably was a pirate in a past life, actually.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Navy sailor.
Yeah.
Who then just wants a boat.
Yeah,
Wants to
it's
be on
all
the
he
water
wants
as
to do,
most-
much as possible.
As much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
He probably was a pirate in a
Yeah,
past life.
I think so.
I would
I could
believe
see that.
Yeah.
Maybe he was Davy Jones.
As long as,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, I think this one was cool because of the whole legends thing, right? Like it was spoke
it's
to
a
a
new
different
one for us.
thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, bring on the legends. I like them. Yeah. So what do you guys think of pirates? Are they the heroes? Are they the villains? Are they somewhere in between? Who is your favorite pirate that maybe we didn't talk about?
Yeah, if you've got a different pirate, love to hear about.
Yeah.
He or she.
Yes, maybe there's another she that we missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So till next time, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow Goddess Behavior and leave a review. It helps other legendary mortals find us.
Questions are always welcome. No oracle required.
Stay bold.
Stay curious.
That's Goddess Behavior.